Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you tips for tomorrow's horse race in action. We'll be focusing back on the usual action of the UK and we'll be venturing across the Irish Sea for my nap, so stay tuned for that. But I'll just do a quick recap of how the week's been really with Royal Ascot. Obviously it was the last day today at the current time of recording this video, and yeah, it was a bit of a mixed bag really. Our crowning glory of the day was Palace Pier. He was our only winner, but he's a horse that I'd followed him ever since he won on debut at Sandown. I believe I actually napped him on debut at Sandown when I used to work with a YouTube channel called The Punters Page. I've always been a great admirer of him, and he really confirmed my initial impression that I thought he was always a Group 1 horse in the making, and he always does his best work till last, and he really, in the end, I think it was quite cosy, the win. I know people might complain about the ride on Pinatubo, but I said earlier in the week, and I've been saying for the last couple of weeks since the Guineas, they should have probably run him in a race like the Commonwealth Cup. You know, he's all speed, and I think in the sprinting divisions over 6-7 furlongs, that is his optimum trip. I just don't think he gets home over a mile. I know there are a few people saying maybe he should go to the Sussex Stakes. Maybe Goodwood would suit him because he did win at Goodwood last season. I don't think he would. I think he'll still get closed on it towards the end of his races, and Palace Pier would be just a menace for him. I could see Palace Pier time and time again come in with his late run, using his turn of foot, you know, and definitely outstaying Pinatubo, because I don't think, like I said, he gets the mile. The most frustrating moment of the day, even though we did get some profit out of it, was our nap, Summergand. Now, I've never really jumped on the bandwagon with him before. He's always a horse that I've tend to leave alone, but I've joined the club. I've got the T-shirt of having our fingers burnt. You know, backed him though at 10-1 each way. He was my nap, my best bet of the day. He was running home, he was flying, and I thought he was going to get up. I thought he was going to pass Hey Jonesy, but he didn't, and he just lost in a photo finish. Very, very frustrating. You know, I'll show you the photo finish as I'm talking now. It'll play over this, but yeah, oh my god, it was so frustrating. You know, I think he is gonna have one in him. He reminds me of a horse. He reminds me a little bit of a horse last season called Gulliver, you know, for David O'Meara, who also finished 4th in that race, you know, and he just kept coming, threatening in these big handicaps and just never quite delivering. But I think he will have his day in the sun soon, you know, but he's got to have it soon, because I think the handicapper again will start raising him, and then he'll be in the handicapper's grip. But yeah, no complaints. And Hayne Jonesy, to be fair, he was actually on my shortlist for a handicap win this season, but with Kevin Ryan sometimes being quite a stable when they're out of form, quite hard to catch right. I kind of swerved him, so I've probably missed the boat on Hey Jonesy now, because he probably won't go in again. That'll probably be his only win this season. But yeah, bit of a mixed day, you know. We would have come out around about even money, maybe a small loss. Pinatubo as well continued our winning streak in the lay of the day, you know. So that was good there. That's 3 in a row now. So since we started it, 6 winning lays, only 2 losses. But if you calculate that up over time, we've made some profit out of it. And at the end of the month, I'll work it all out and I'll show you my strike rate and what against the liability, and we'll work it all out. But all my results are in the description box below. I've been keeping a monthly total ever since we started on the 1st of June, and we are up, and it's been a good Royal Ascot for us throughout the week. We've been more up than down. I think we've had 3 good profitable days, but I think today we would have just come out with a small loss. Happy Romance did get some of the extra place money that there were the 5 places I saw out there with some firms at 16-1, so that would have clawed a little bit of damages back. But yeah, the first selection, Parsavino, became a non-runner, so I put up Embor, who will be the next cliff horse of his generation, no doubt, this season. Probably will follow him in, but I think in that race, in the opening race, you could have forgiven most of the field. A bit of a weird race, but yeah, that's how it started for us. Happy Romance got a bit of the extra place money, like we said. Talbot, I just think he was outclassed, totally out of his comfort zone. Might be one for handicaps later on in the season. He might be able to run in some of those warm nursery races, or maybe capable of picking up a Group 3 race. But yeah, that was a little bit disappointing, because I was expecting a better run from him. And 150 to 1 winner, I actually had a good word from that. I had a good word about that one on debut at Newmarket. I was told to watch it because I know someone that knows Hector Crouch, and they said at home it works really well on the gallops, you know, and definitely one to watch in that race. And he blew the start in that race at Newmarket, and he was never in it. And they said, oh, back him next time out. And then you think, well, running in a Coventry, you know, that price, he's probably gonna not cope with the class edge. But yeah, fair play, you know, sometimes you can get these big price winners, and if you're on it, fair play to you as well. You definitely probably paid for your years. So yeah, that was a bit frustrating there. And then our other selection, So Wonderful, finished in 4th place, just not good enough. But it shows that I think that the 1,000 Guineas form isn't that good, not that strong. So yeah, that was quite an interesting thought there, and it'd be interesting to see, really, will people buy on to Love? Was she just the best of a bad race? You know, it'd be interesting to see what she does going forward. And yeah, that's all about it today. And then in the final race, the Grand Vizier, you know, if he'd won, it would have been a profitable day. Just got outdone by Who Dares Wins. The only reason I took on Who Dares Wins was because of the price, really. At the time, he was around about 11.08, and I thought the Grand Vizier would be a worthy rival, and I thought a 4 to 1. He did represent a little bit of value, but obviously, what do I know? Hey, Who Dares Wins. He's not a horse normally I've actually ever really backed. I think I've only ever backed him a couple of times, but fair play. What an incredible horse, you know, able to mix it at the highest level over jumps, and also as well on the flat, you know, very good horse for connections. And it's been a really good week. But thanks to all the new subscribers. I don't do this at all the big race meetings, in the fact that I just appear now and again. I'm consistent. I upload videos every day. So if you have joined in the last week, make sure you keep following me, keep subscribing, watching the videos, like the videos, leave comments in the comments box below. Really enjoyed engaging with some of you throughout the week, and thanks for all your support. And I want to continue to make this the best horse racing channel on YouTube. You know, there's a gap in the market for a good YouTube channel with horse racing, and that's what I'm trying to do. So thanks for all your support, and hopefully we can have some winners back on the normal racing tomorrow. But it's not a bad little day's racing tomorrow. Some good cards at Kempton, Redcar, Wolverhampton and Leopardstown. We're going to be starting off though with Loaders Longshot, keeping up the format in the 315 at Redcar with True Blue Moon. 11 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment, and I have seen 4 places on offer, trained by Tim Easterby, and David Allen is booked for the ride. Now, Tim Easterby's yard, they haven't had many winners, but a lot of their horses have been making the frame. And they had, of course, the impressive Art Power yesterday, winning the Palace of Holyrood handicap, and he could be a group sprinter in the making. This horse used to actually be trained by Joseph O'Brien, where he actually won the Rochdale listed stakes as a 2-year-old, and then he transferred hands to Johnny Murtaugh's yard, and Johnny Murtaugh didn't really get the best out of him. He did get a handicap win out of him at Bellewstown, which came off a mark of 86, and he's now found his way over in England with Tim Easterby. But this horse, I think he's been running at the wrong trip, and tomorrow, for the first time in his career, he's going beyond 6 furlongs. He's stepping up to 7. And if you go back and watch the Newcastle replay, if you can, go on the Sky Sports racing website at theraces.com. You can see all the racing replays on there for free. It's great website to get stuck into. I used to be a racing postman, but I'm using that website a lot more these days. I still am a racing postman with the app, but I like, when I'm on the computer now, to actually look at the races website. Yeah, but going back to the race at Newcastle, he was quite, at one stage, badly hampered in, and in the last furlong he started to pass quite a few horses, quite eye-catching, and he wasn't under the whip. It was a hands and heels ride, and he was very, very eye-catching, and he went into my tracker, and I'm looking at this race tomorrow, and I'm not thinking that it's that particularly strong. And there are some 1 or 2 nice horses in here, but I think they're a little bit too short, and they might need the run. A lot of these going to need their first run of the season, but this fella, he should come on, I think, for that run. And like I said, he's going up in trip tomorrow, and I think that will really suit him, and he's got the class edge. And if he can replicate his form of when he was winning off 86, I still think he could have maybe 5-6 hands ahead of the handicapper, you know. And I think he's definitely, if they can hold him up, and come with a late run, you know, I could see him running out really strong. He's by Holy Roman Emperor on his dam side of the pedigree as well. He's got plenty of stamina. He's related to milers, I believe. So really, I think that they can, if they can get to the key with him, which I think they are getting there, he might be a bit of a rejuvenated horse, because I think when he was over in Ireland, maybe they just didn't quite get to the bottom of him. But yeah, for me, True Blue Moon, 11 to 1, 4 places on offer. He'll do for me as my long shot tomorrow, 1 point each way, as described in the description box below with the staking system, and hopefully he can get the job done. We then go to Kempton for the 355 with my next best. I'm going with a horse here called Elegant Erin in the same colours of Billiston Brook, who's one of my favourite horses of all time, and trained by the same trainer, Richard Hannon, and Russell Ryan's put for the ride. Russell Ryan's had quite a few winners at Newmarket today. I think when I last checked, he might have had a treble, but he's been riding really well. He got his first Royal Ascot winner with Highland Chief the other day in one of the big handicaps there. So yeah, he's riding on the crest of a wave at the moment. He really improved last season, and I think he's going to have another good year. This horse finished 5th at Chelmsford last time out, and when it comes to excuses in a race, I think this horse has had the most excuses I've ever seen in a race, because if you go back and watch the race and replay at Chelmsford, this horse had a wide draw, a saddle slipped, and she still found under pressure and ran on all right to finish in 5th place, considering all those things went against her. And when she came into the home turn at Chelmsford, it was, oh my God, like she gave away so much ground. And the winner declared interest for Rafe Beckett, who won that race, went on to run a credible race in the Sandringham Stakes at Royal Ascot a couple of days ago to finish in 5th place. So the form is of a good level, and she got first run that day. And I think if Elegant Erin had been in a better draw, been a bit more prominent maybe in the field, you know, she would have been threatening for the win. And off a mark in the high 70s, I think she's rated 77. I think she's got scope off that mark. I think she could be a black type filly later in the year. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Richard Hannon thinks maybe towards the end of the season, maybe they could nick a cheap listed race of her. I think she's definitely got progress and ability in her. Going to Kempton tomorrow, she's got a good draw in stool 1. And I think she represents quite a bit of value, and she'll come massively forward for that run. And some of, like I said, the others will need the run, but I don't know if they're that well in it with their handicaps marks, where I think this Elegant Erin, like I said, she could have maybe at least £5 in hand if she does win tomorrow. I think it's a good workable mark, and like I said, she could be targeted at maybe a listed race later on in the season, and she can get into a good prominent position. She was quite consistent last year as a 2-year-old. She's been quite tried at the racetrack, but I think she's got a bit more scope to her. She's got a bit more ability about her this season. I could see her running really well, and I think at 15 to 2 tomorrow, she nearly did make my nap, but I think I'm really sweet on her chances basically, and I think with the 4 places on offer that I've seen out there with 1 or 2 firms, definitely a great each way bet at 15 to 2. I expect a really good run for our money, and she's going to be our next best. We then end with our final tip, going over the RSC, where we're going to have actually 2 tips technically in this. We're going to have my nap and my lay. So my nap is going to be Snow for Aidan O'Brien, currently 4 to 1, win only bet, Shamey Heffernan booked for the ride. Now I was really impressed with this horse's victory at the Curragh, where she won quite snugly in the end, even though it was quite a tight winning margin. She beat stablemate Salsa, who's also going to be running in this race, but I think Salsa isn't completely straightforward. I think she was wearing the blinkers, or she was wearing some kind of headgear, which you don't normally associate Aidan O'Brien's horses to run. Not many of them run in headgear, but this Snow, you know, it was her seasonal debut, and I think she's definitely one to keep on side. She could definitely materialise into possibly maybe even a Group 2 filly. She might not be Group 1 calibre, but nonetheless, you know, she's definitely going to be picking up some nice black type races later on in the season, and I think she'll come massively forward for that run. She's a daughter of Galileo, so she'll hopefully improve like they normally do as a 3-year-old. And I think she's the one they've got to beat tomorrow. And at 4 to 1, she represents good value, and I could see her going off maybe 2 to 1. I think she's definitely got a really good chance in that race tomorrow. I think it's a Group 3 listed race, not quite sure. It's the Blue Wind Stakes anyway. I remember the name of it, but not the level. But yeah, she's got a good chance this Snow, I think, of going very close tomorrow, and that's why she's going to be my nap, because she represents good value. The lay of the day is going to be the Dermot Weld runner, who was favourite when I was writing out my notes just before this video, so hopefully she still is, and we can get a good price on her. I'll put actually the Betfair exchange price in the comments box below, or in the description box below, I should say, because there wasn't one at the current time of recording. But this Emma Grace, you know, trained by Dermot Weld, Oisin Orbit for the ride. Dermot Weld's yard, they've been really out of form. Two winners from 36 runners, so they're not in great form. They're a bit of a lottery, really. And I thought this horse, really, she needed a lot of cut in the ground. When she won last time, there was plenty of juice in the ground, and the form of that race hasn't worked out that well. There could be a little bit of a rain around tomorrow, but I don't think it'll be enough to get in the ground. And if there was a little bit of rain anyway, I don't think Snow would be put off by it either. And I think Snow's the one that's got more progress to come. And this Emma Grace will probably need the run. She could be maybe better later on in the season, but I think when it comes to the day tomorrow, Snow is the one you want to be on. And at 4-1, I think that represents good value. And that's why my lay of the day is going to be this Amma Grace. But anyway, that's the tips for tomorrow. Just doing a quick recap then. In the 3:15 at Redcar, True Blue Moon, my long shot at 11-1 each way for Tim Easterby with the 4 places. The 3:55 at Kempton, Elegant Erin 15-2 with the extra places. Each way 15-2 for Richard Hannon. And then my nap is in the 5:15 at Leopardstown Snow, 4-1 for Aidan O'Brien. And the lay of the day comes in that race with Amma Grace for Dermot Weld, and that rounds things off. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe here to my YouTube channel for more videos so you never miss out. Also as well, please give us a thumbs up and let me know your best bets in the comments box below. What's your nap? What's your long shot? What's your lay of the day? I'd like to read all your guys' comments, so make sure you, if you want to get your opinion across, put your comments in the comments box below. Also as well, if you want to follow me on Twitter, the best place to do so is to go on there and type in my handle and type in @LuckyLoaders15. And if you want to check out my website as well for a full portfolio, my website is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So that's all I got to say. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.